Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. Obviously, the biggest bit of news that came out of Monday Night Raw is Gunther is the new World Heavyweight Champion. He beats Jey Uso in the main event. Um, to some, this was a shocker. And you know what? I'll say this. It was a surprise because I did not have Gunther regaining the World Heavyweight Championship from Jey Uso in this amount of time. And then no cash in, nothing, no shenanigans with Goldberg. There was speculation about that. No Seth Rollins cash in, nothing. Gunther just wins clean and it goes off the air. The more that I think about it, this actually probably went about as well as you could have done it because Jay was already selling injuries. So he was beaten up. So really, it's a clean loss, but Jay doesn't look weak at all in defeat. But I know what the narrative is going to be. And listen, a lot of you people in the comments, a lot of people, some of the people who subscribe to this channel, some people hate watch me. I don't even know. Some of you think I try to like incite tribalism in some of the ways that I go after AEW, which, it's me just having an opinion. So I don't know why that bothers you. But I'm going to do something here that I normally don't do. I'm going to try and unite the fan base here because, first of all the fans who are just mad, oh man, they screwed Jey Uso over. Man, they only gave him a 51-day title run and a 28-day Intercontinental title run, and leaving out the fact that hey, he won the Royal Rumble, he last eliminated John Cena, he won a world championship at WrestleMania, he beat Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title in one of the more shocking title changes in recent memory and one of the more epic moments in the history of Monday Night Raw. He's done so many great things. Yet you guys are mad that he just lost. And I understand that that's the raw emotion of like, your guy lost. And then there's the people who, are miserable fucks and just are like, yeah, Jay sucks. He's a terrible wrestler. He couldn't hack it. He's not a world champion. Justice is served. Gunther's back on top. Okay, first of all, guys, Jey Uso is the epitome of what makes professional wrestling so great. He is a guy who, let's think about this for a second. This guy for over a decade was a tag team guy. So at some points they couldn't even tell him apart from his brother. So for him to be the world heavyweight champion, even for a short amount of time as he did, is fucking remarkable. For him to be in less than a calendar year, this guy's won the Intercontinental title. This guy's won the World Heavyweight title, and he's won a Royal Rumble. That's a good fucking career for a lot of people. So for all you Jey Uso fans who are pissed the fuck off that he lost and had a short title run, and Rikishi I know is going to go ham and go off in favor of his son, because that's just what Rikishi does, because he's got nothing else to worry about anymore, because he's just retired and he's in the Hall of Fame. Rikishi, you should probably be worrying about other things. Your kids are doing really well in WWE. But it's just, guys, reality set in here. That's what happened. Reality set in here on both ends. And if you're one of these schmucks who's just going to use this as a way to dunk on Jey Uso and just try to, I'll call this internal tribalism. This is the war in the fan base of WWE, not WWE versus another company. Like, there's bloodline people versus anti-bloodline people. And it's like, listen, can we just admire that what Jey Uso was able to accomplish over the last, I would say about 8-9 months? Because really, like, it goes back to September about September or October of last year, where he won the Intercontinental title really out of nowhere. And then he goes on to win the Royal Rumble. He wins the World Heavyweight Championship. And it's just like all of these crazy things as a singles guy that he was able to accomplish really off of a word and a dance. That's really insane. But guys, okay, I have to just let's take it down for a second. Listen. The reality is with Jey Uso, he had a ceiling. And this was it. I'm glad they gave him a run with it. I'm glad they actually pulled the trigger. The title win at WrestleMania was a little bit anticlimactic. We all knew it was coming. But this really felt like almost like a token and almost like a reward. And it was clearly a transitional reign. If you guys thought that Jey Uso was going to hold the title for the rest of the year, you're fucking delusional. I mean, like, but my point here, my big overriding point is, all you people who are bummed out about him losing, Be happy that we got this. And all you people who are just trying to be fucking miserable fucking marks and being like, ha ha, Gunther won, the right guy won, justice is served. You're spitting all over what makes professional wrestling so great. You're supposed to dismiss belief every now and again. And like I said, this was a fun story. This was a fun thing to play out, but in the world of professional wrestling, there are ceilings, and Jey Uso reached his. And trust me, I'm never going to forget this run. This, like I said, I hope that in years down the road, when we look back on the last on around summer of 2024 all the way to here in summer of 2025, almost a full calendar year, we're going to look back on and be like, God damn, Jey Uso had a really good run there, and not just look at it as just like this blip on the radar, because it deserves to be respected for what he was able to accomplish in terms of, like I said, Intercontinental title, Royal Rumble win, last eliminating John Cena, by the way, in his final Royal Rumble. That means something. And then he beats Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. It's like, but in terms of both these sides, what do you guys expect was going to happen? If you want to be bummed out and be fucking miserable because you're a Gunther fan or you just don't like Jey Uso, like, come on. Like, this is the worst part of professional wrestling rearing its ugly head. I talk about it all the time with AEW versus WWE. Tribalism sucks. But when you have it inside of a fan base, that's where it gets really dumb. Guys, this is like, come on. It's like Jey Uso, it was a cool fucking story. I couldn't believe when he won the Intercontinental title. It was one of the more shocking moments that I can remember watching WWE television. I couldn't believe it. And, good for him. The WrestleMania thing, like I said, was predictable, but still, it was freaking cool. Good for him. I said it at the start of the year on the Netflix debut. I was like, yeah, man, they got to give this guy the world title. It didn't mean it had to be for fucking 3 years like Roman Reigns had it. This still meant something because the fans got what they wanted. They got rewarded with something. And just because a couple of miserable fucks in the fan base are just like, yeah, he can't wrestle. It's like, listen, there's been a lot worse world champions in WWE than Jey Uso, okay? Just because he had a worse title run than Jinder Mahal doesn't mean that it didn't mean anything. So I guess what I'm trying to say to everybody here is, like, can we just come together on this and just be like, it was a cool time in WWE. Good for Jey Uso. Amazing story. A career tag team guy was able to pretty much put together a pretty damn good career. A pretty damn good career year in the last calendar year or so. And, did some things that a lot of people will never do in their entire career. You can say he doesn't deserve it. You can say he didn't earn it. I think that's bullshit. I think he absolutely earned this opportunity. And yes, was he put in a position because of a chant and everything? Yeah. But that's just the way wrestling works. So instead of being miserable, if you're a fan of Jey Uso, instead of being miserable, if you're, a Gunther fan and you just want to dunk on everybody, let's just rally around this and just be like, hey, that was a cool time. That was a cool time. The Heat era, it'll be a moment in history in WWE that we'll always remember. So it's just like, guys, just don't be miserable fucks, please. Like, it's just, it brings the mood down. I'm choosing to be positive about this situation. And some of you think I just breathe out negativity on this channel. I'm trying to be the positive one here. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. And one more time, yeet.